The Belift Lab CEO's interview is pretty wild. I've been seeing it everywhere. He does address the plagiarism accusations, of course, the plagiarism accusations that we saw from the beginning. You know, ever since Islet debuted, even before Minhee-jin herself said that Belift and Hybe basically ripped off NewJeans, people were comparing Islet to NewJeans. We've been seeing this since the beginning, and you know, there's been accusation after accusation. And again, it's not just Minhee-jin, a lot of netizens are also adding on to this. So Belift Lab CEO did address the plagiarism accusations, and this is what he had to say. Now, some people are saying that he's kind of admitting to copying NewJeans while also denying copying NewJeans, so you can let me know what you think about that. I think there has not been a single group debuted that has not thought about NewJeans or was not influenced by them ever since they debuted. I do think that the result NewJeans has achieved are incredible. That is something you have to acknowledge. People have been influenced by them, regardless if it is to become similar to them or to become different from them. This is something you cannot deny. But even if you ask us, when we were making our debut team and deciding on a concept, we never thought, if we make our group like NewJeans, it'll be easy for us to succeed. Just as I have consistently been saying, Islet has never stolen director Min or NewJeans' ideas. This is definite. We have a lot of material to prove that we did not plagiarize, but we cannot tell the public to read it all. This is why we have stated previously in the audit, this is a problem that has to be dealt with in the court, and we can only say that we are solving it as such. What do you think of what he said? Because of course, at the beginning, he's saying there has not been a single group debuted that has not thought about NewJeans or was not influenced by them. But then of course, he's like, you know, we did not steal NewJeans or director Min's ideas when we debuted our group Islet. And there's been a lot of back and forth with this. You know, Belift Lab even made a whole video how they didn't copy NewJeans, but netizens also coming up with other evidence. What do you think about that? There's definitely accusations of, you know, well, Belift asked for NewJeans' debut plans, and then accusations that Belift copied NewJeans' debut plans. We talked about that in a previous video where we saw the similar templates that they used for both NewJeans and Islet's debut plans. So there's a lot that goes into this, but this is Belift addressing it once again in this interview. He also makes mention of preferential treatment. All the staff know that it was actually NewJeans and Adore who received aggressive support in terms of promotions and brand collaborations. It's hard for me to even name all the support they received as such. One of the small examples I can give to you is that our office building in Yongsan, artists have to make bookings to use a shared styling room when they need it. But from their second year on, NewJeans had their own exclusive styling room. Whether they were discriminated against or if they received preferential treatment, all the Hybe staff knows about it well. He's alleging preferential treatment. He's not straight out saying they have preferential treatment, but it's heavily implied, right? Through promotions, brand collaborations, and they're saying all the Hybe staff knows about this too. Like they know that NewJeans in particular received aggressive support. So I definitely saw some people say that, you know, if NewJeans have their own styling room, then, you know, why did Hanni go to the hair and makeup place where she said she was ignored, right? So I've seen that. I don't know if that's the same thing. I have no idea about, you know, the structure of the Hybe building, about this styling room versus like a hair and makeup room. That's just some of the backlash or some of the response that I've seen from this in particular. So from there, we see the Belift Lab CEO talking about the Hanni ignoring situation and how it's affected Islet. Now, this is what has gotten Islet, I would say, from what I've seen, the most backlash, because he talks about how it's affected them, obviously, how they are fearful of going on stage because of it. Hanni, in her whole, you know, ignoring controversy, I mean, that definitely blew up. In NewJeans' emergency live stream, she mentioned how, you know, she was walking by a specific group, they greeted each other, but then when they were walking out of the hair and makeup room, she overheard the manager telling them to ignore her. Now, she never mentioned the group by name, but a lot of people were assuming it was Islet. And then it was kind of like confirmed that it was, like unofficially confirmed that it was Islet, but then everyone was basically denying that the manager ever did that. And Hanni expressed how the CEO was making her feel like she was a liar, that she was lying about the situation. And there was a whole controversy about the CCTV footage as well. How they were shown CCTV footage, but it was like the moments leading up to the event, and, you know, the event itself unfortunately had been deleted, or not necessarily deleted, but just because of the 30-day period that you can keep CCTV footage, it just didn't exist anymore. So they didn't have proof of it, and because they didn't have proof of it, there was, according to them, really nothing they could do, right? This is what the CEO said about the controversy, the Hanni ignore her controversy, and how it has affected Islet. Islet is very affected by the whole thing. This is a very important week for them. They're in the midst of a comeback, and they have started promotions for their follow-up track. The members are very bravely moving forward, and actually the staff are being comforted by the members. At first, the members were struggling, of course. They kept it to themselves as they worried that the company would be worried for them and kept saying they were fine. The members were especially shocked by the ignore them controversy. The members themselves know the truth. They asked, why is Hanni going that far? Did the CEO do anything wrong? Did we do anything wrong? They seem to be afraid to take the stage. I think they have grown stronger now. I anticipate they will be great artists as long as they overcome this adversity. They have grown more mature. I'm sorry because they don't feel like rookies to me. I'm saying this once more, but no one has ever told them to ignore her. So next up, there were accusations that Are You Next lineup was rigged because there were some documents basically saying a specific date, but then the date that the final lineup was announced was different. And, there was pictures of all 5 members, or rather all 6, right? Because there was a 6-member lineup initially. So there was accusations that Are You Next lineup was rigged. This is what the CEO had to say about that. There have been accusations that amongst one of the statements we released in October, there was content about us having allegedly planned the final plans and concept on July 21st, 2024. Seeing as Are You Next ended on September 1st, there have been claims that the plans were made even before the lineup was confirmed, and that the program was fabricated, diluting the purpose of the show. The public who does not know about the process of how idols are produced are taking things too lightly. Many documents are made during the process of creating them from planning to debut, and this document does not deviate from this role either. Just as we have explained above, the process of producing a group is a very long one, and there will be many edits and confirmations that will repeat over and over again. Hence, claims of rigging are forced. Of course, we picked it fairly through voting. At that time, we already said that the 2 of the members were picked through the show, and the company had picked 4 of the members. Did you guys know about this? Like, if you watched the show, is that what happened? Because I thought everyone was voted for, but it seems that only 2 members were based on votes alone. If we planned on rigging, we would have just said that all 6 members were picked through voting. At that time, many asked why we picked only 2 through votes. From our point of view, rather than choosing all the members through votes, we thought it was better to follow the company's concept direction. We took that risk into account and made it public that we chose 2 members from votes only. So I'm getting mixed comments about whether people knew that this was a thing from the beginning, that you could only vote in 2 members and the rest would be picked by the company, or not. But anyways, all that to say that they're denying the fact that it was rigged. 2 members were going to be picked by viewers, and the rest were picked by the company. So then, to add on to this very long list of lawsuits that we've been encountering for the past year, Islet's creative director is now suing Min Hee-jin, and this was announced in that interview as well. This time, we have added another lawsuit to the previous ones. Islet's creative director has filed a lawsuit against director Min for her claims of plagiarism. She also sued the previous business executives of Adore. We hope that if director Min is confident in her repeated claims of plagiarism, she will partake in the case diligently. So, yet another lawsuit to add on top of the many lawsuits that already exist. It's probably like in regards to defamation, right? Like, you're defaming me by saying that I plagiarized you. But I believe on Min Hee-jin's side, she's saying she has documents to prove that they did plagiarize. And then on Belift's side, they're saying we have documents to prove that we didn't plagiarize. It's a lot of contradicting statements, right? So then, of course, because of this interview, unfortunately, Islet have been suffering the most. Every time the CEO speaks out and makes mention of Islet, unfortunately, they're the ones on the receiving end of the backlash. So let's see what some K-netizens are saying about this. Isn't he basically claiming that Hanni lied? This is legendary. Wow, lol. Hope you correct your goat-like way of singing first. NewJeans never mentioned any particular name and highlighted that the group had definitely greeted her. They're acting so fussy. From the beginning to the end, it is the company who did wrong. Why are you using your artist name in the media as shields? Even the victims, NewJeans, protected Islet. What about Islet themselves, lol? Hanni didn't even say who it was. I feel like they were enjoying it because they even followed an anti-NewJeans account on the members' Twitter account.